One of the things we have not talked about much on the channel here has been PvP in Dying Light 2. We've covered a lot on this game on the channel, and this is just one that we haven't really went into depth because there hasn't been much information. Be the Zombie from Dying Light 1 was not my favorite, if we're being honest. I know a lot of you guys in the community loved BTZ. Wasn't a fan myself, definitely was not a fan of it. I'm in the group of people that's looking for an innovative change in Dying Light 2 to the multiplayer and new PvP. Those are really the two camps we're in right now, the BTZ lovers and then the people who want something different. Before we adventure deeper into what we could actually see as far as a new PvP mode, in my opinion, there are some things we definitely need to cover about whether there will even be a PvP mode at all in the game. If we take a step back to 2018 in an interview with Timon Smektala at Gamescom, we can actually hear what Timon said about PvP multiplayer back then. Roll the clip.
One last question is, do you have information about the multiplayer PvS mode?
Okay, what I can tell you is that not much. Sorry. Please excuse me, but there is a huge multiplayer component aside from co-op mode. But that's something we're keeping as a surprise for a later date.
So it seemed at that point almost definite that we would get some sort of multiplayer PvP game mode. Fast forward to 2021 when we're getting all the new gameplay. There just hasn't been really anything coming out about PvP. The closest thing we've gotten was an interview from Oni Zombies with Timon Smektala. In the interview, he did indeed ask about a possible multiplayer PvP mode coming.
Okay, and then the big one that I know the BTZ community wants to know. Are there any plans for like a multiplayer mode, any PvP mode?
Okay, so for launch, it's 4-player co-op.
So Timon, I know it's Timon, I just like saying Timon, don't be insulted. He actually comes out and sort of brushes off it rather quickly. The exact quote, as you just heard, was at launch, 4-player co-op, but it definitely seems clear that he means at launch there will only be co-op, and this has led to speculation that maybe we'll get PvP later down the road. It is really interesting though. Timon seemed to skim over it very, very quickly. Maybe he didn't want to give away too many details on PvP multiplayer. As he said, even in the 2018 interview, he said, I can't really give away many details. So that is a possibility there. Maybe they want us to be fully surprised when a PvP mode comes out. Another possibility I'm going to throw out there, definitely not as great, but it is the possibility that PvP was scrapped since 2018. Just in my mind, the way I think about it, if in 2018 Timon was pretty much saying we have a clear-cut PvP mode, we just can't talk about it, and now in 2022 release, we have no PvP pretty much confirmed to be at launch. So that's concerning. As we know, a lot of things have changed around in Dying Light 2 development since 2018, even since a year ago. Almost exactly 1 year ago was when the new narrative director actually took over. And that doesn't have much to do with PvP, but that just goes to show, I want to show you guys, a lot has definitely changed within the last year and a half. So to me, in my opinion, it seems not great that they were talking about PvP before. They couldn't give many details, but it was confirmed. And now it's not coming out launch. It definitely doesn't sound good. So from there, we either have two options. We don't get a PvP mode at all, or we get a PvP mode later after launch. I think it's unfortunate that it would even have to be a possibility after launch. I would prefer it at launch just because I think after launch, a lot of people aren't going to be as interested in the game since it's a single-player game, obviously. This happens with every single-player game. As time moves on, player base is going to diminish. Now, Dying Light has a pretty strong player base at the core, but still, you get what I mean. It would be hitting peak audience at launch. If we do want to go a little bit into what type of PvP we could actually see, like I mentioned earlier, BTZ, I don't think it's going to return. Some people are set on it returning. I personally think if we do see a PvP mode, we will see a faction-oriented PvP mode, human v human. It is a little vague. I don't have all of it planned out in my head. Just the fact that it's kind of faction-oriented just makes sense for this game. The only other thing I can really think of is something like Bad Blood, which I don't think a Battle Royale is going to return, to be honest. I think it's much more likely we get a PvP mode revolving around faction wars rather than something like a Battle Royale. I mean, just imagine the scenarios that could play out if there was like even a lobby of 30 people, everyone in different factions around the map, maybe only in one district fighting over a certain area. I mean, just imagine how that would play out. In my mind, it plays out beautifully. And if anything like that does come out, I might have to just quit my job and quit my life at that point. So hopefully we actually end up getting some answers here. It would be nice to find this out before release, when we're going to be expecting it. Are we going to be expecting one at all? I mean, it's really unclear right now, like I said before. Let me know down below what type of mode you want to see for PvP. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up here. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos and want to see more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.